Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims South Asia, brought to you by R3G Gaming. My name is Varun John, joined by Ankit Sharma right next to me. And I know we have taken a really long break with these scrims, but hey, we are back again, once again.
Yes, we are back, and with that, we'll be seeing all these games. And obviously, we had the games before all the PMPLs
Yeah.
in action. But I must admit, I've just got a very nice background, to be very honest, Johnny,
Well,
because
I understand that. I mean, it's going to be your first time experiencing the South Asia Pro Scrim. But let me tell you, Ankit, you're going to be in for a ride. It is going to be a wonderful, wonderful journey. So, explaining about the format, I mean, we have teams from Pakistan, we have teams from Bangladesh, we have teams from Nepal in these scrims. The prize pool is here on our screens right now. This prize pool for this season 1, ladies and gentlemen, it is $2,000. The teams at the top 4 will be getting that prize money, distributing amongst themselves. The rest of the lads will be walking away with nothing. But other than that, as I mentioned, teams from 3 different regions competing to showcase what they are made of. I mean, this is one thing that me and the previous casters were actually just always in a conversation with. All right, there's the tag of this being scrims, so practice matches basically. But the teams don't look at it that way. When you're competing between different regions, it is always about those bragging rights.
yeah, man, with this bragging rights, we'll be straight away with the point structure, the evenly point distributed table where the first place gets the 15th place win points, followed by second with 12 and third with 10, 8, and 6, and that decreasing order gets you a none if you secure the place of 13 to 16 and just one total points from that 8 to 12th. And mind you, Johnny, one kill equal to 1 point, so that becomes actually important if you find themselves in that 8 to 16 place maybe.
Exactly. I mean, it is going to be quite interesting to see. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, before we head to the matches, let's have a look at the team. So, Group A in front of us with PN Crew, Venom Legends, R3G, Train to Kill, XB Blood Legion, 7C, Freestyle, and Gods Reborn being the first 8 teams inside of this group. Then we have Group B as well, which has F4 Esports, Magnus Esports, DRS Gaming, A1 Esports, Futurestation, Carnage Esports, LoG1 Esports, and Skylight Gaming. So a lot of these names are some of the best teams that can potentially represent the region, have represented the region in the international stages so far. But moving forward, the last group, which has R3D, Deadeyes Guys, 1952, STALWARTxFLEX, Team TUF, Inertia Esports, commonly known as INES, High Voltage, and NFPxSky Esports. So it is going to be really intense. Ankit, there are a lot of teams that we have seen in major tournaments before, but today all these teams will just be playing 3 matches. Erangel is going to be the map once again, ladies and gentlemen. First match, Group A versus B, second B versus C, and third will be C versus A.
Yes, we'll start off the day with A and B colliding once against each other, and then B and C, and simultaneously then C and A. So each group will be getting 2 games to play. That means 2 opportunity, but back-to-back 3 Erangel. That means this is the map that every team and every individual player, as an individual, we have also played this map for that very maximum time, because obviously we have seen that Sanok and Miramal in the action, but this is the great leveler, this is the great settler, because we must not be knowing where we are located, but the way the players actually are familiar with the grounds and all of these, this is gonna be superb. I'm really excited to look forward to this.
I mean, you have to be excited once again. This is going to be your first experience. I'm excited to see how you actually, by the end of our day today, how you feel about these teams' performances. Because, I mean, time and time again, it has always been the question, right? Which region is the most dominating region? And that is what, I mean, we always talk about when you and I are also casting the matches on the international, the biggest stages, be it the PMPL or the respective PMCOs. But let's talk about the overall standings after the matches that these lads played the last time they were here at the Scrims. So STALWARTxFLEX and F4 Esports established themselves as the leaders of the leaderboard with 95 and 91 points respectively to these two teams, and really wonderful performances. STALWARTxFLEX, we know they are coming with a really good momentum based on how they played during the Pro League Season 3 as well. But then we move forward. I believe we are going to be in for a surprise when it comes to the team on the 4th position, that is Futurestation.
Yep, Futurestation, to be very honest, because this was a team that actually didn't qualify for some of the beats when we were watching that PMPL actions. And in this, among all these 24 teams, it takes pride, it takes immense pressure to be on that top 5 slot. But with that, it goes that 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 position with A1 Esports, 7C's, R3G, PNU. So we have seen all these lads, all these teams actually performing brilliantly in that PMPL Season 3 in the past. And DRS Gaming, the team that actually won this season, is on the 5th position. They must be looking to actually top this chart. Not even that, maybe on the top 5.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there will be a lot of switches happening. I mean, DRS, I agree with you. I expect them to climb up really, really high in the leaderboard just in the 2 matches that they will be playing today. Because as you mentioned, I mean, now they have a trophy in their hands, the trophy of being called the champions of PMPL South Asia Season 3. And not just that, I mean, these 8 matches that we are seeing for these teams, these were played before that tournament. That was a month-long tournament right there. This team had time to grow, they improved, and now they look really good. I mean, I'm basing this off of the last time we saw the teams personally, so they look really good. They look really deadly. And I would expect that the team brings that performance, that sort of level of aggression that they displayed in that tournament, that level of tactical strategies over here in the South Asia Pro Scrims as well. Because, I mean, let's be honest, going back to the first point I made as soon as we started, there's the tag of Scrims. So teams also do try and find those cheeky opportunities to experiment with their strategies. They go to a different drop location, try and take early game fights, or some teams that actually like to play aggressive, teams like STALWARTxFLEX, who are known for those aggressive stances where they push towards team fights no matter what time of the game it is, might just try and slow things down and take a passive approach to certain situations. So stuff like that might happen, but let's see. It's all Erangel, so as you mentioned, everyone is going to be in the best comfort zone.
Yeah, we have seen how the teams have actually panned out, and I won't be actually even surprised if, as you just said, some teams might go for the experimentation, and if they might collide with the drop location, it will be an extravaganza and a treat to watch out for us also and for the viewers also, because right off the bat, when you go for all those fights, all those bloodsheds, all those holocausts that are actually being dug out, it will be an adventurous journey if we talk about that. But let's talk about teams like STALWARTxFLEX. We have seen this team dominating the team that actually took the burden of the whole region. Here also they are still topping the chart, so the credit must go to them. But T2K also, we saw in that in that PMPL that every time or the other they were topping the top half of the chart, be it the qualifying or be it the final stage. They were at least in the top 5. Here also, after the 8 games, they are still in the top 3 and top 4. So these are the teams, but I'll be looking forward for some more other teams. For example, the teams of coming from the Bangladesh region, like A1 Esports, they might just get some cheeky match in and off.
Exactly. I mean, A1 Esports, their performance over time in the last month, we have seen them improve, right? We have seen them in multiple different tournaments, quite big tournaments where they faced some of the
Yeah,
best teams in South Asia, and they have constantly been improving upon themselves. So I agree with you on that. I mean, A1 Esports, they might just take a game today out of the two matches that they have
exactly.
to play, or I mean, we're going to see a really good performance from their side. But there's that one team that is taking sort of the other way. They're moving in the wrong direction, so to speak, and that is Futurestation. I mean, I know there are a lot of fans of the team, and they might not
Exactly.
like what we have to say, but the team was really good the last time we saw them in the South Asia scrims, and then the entire PMPL happened where Futurestation. I mean. They did not look like themselves. They weren't playing like
Exactly.
themselves. So we are going to hope that that does not happen over here. And Futurestation, they have had some time off. The team has had a break since the finals have happened, and between the scrims that are starting today, I believe the players have reset themselves, and today they are going to be starting fresh.
Talk about Futurestation, Kapshi, but these were the teams that were
Yeah.
actually looking good when they were in the frame. But you just talked about the way Futurestation played in that 8 matches that happened before this PMPL. So nobody thought about it that the sun will be rising this way. But with that, let's head toward the very first match of today. And it's the flight path is from the western half and straight away going to the eastern half from Gatka to Pochinki and Farm and Milta and ending towards the area of Novo Rupna and Milta Power. That means southern Ireland will be easily glidable, and it seems, Johnny, that most of the city, apart from the area of Yasnaya Polyana or maybe Stalwart Kamishki, are easily glidable.
Well, definitely, and it is going to be a glidable distance right there towards, as you mentioned, towards the Kameshki. But I mean, they'll have to take an approach from Mansion because I think that is going to be the maximum distance that you can go. The roads towards either side of Mansion, try and find a vehicle, and then move towards Talbot Kameshki. Other than that, North Georgia Pole would be a wonderful location. And we do see the team of Future Station, as they do like to drop towards the northern Georgia Pole city, are already heading in that direction. So I want to see how the early game actually turns out for them. But over on the other side, I mean, there is the squad of Gods Reborn actually present as well towards the Georgia Pool City area, the normal Georgia Pool City, the one
Yeah.
right next to the container. So that is going to be an interesting thing. We do see in the PIP squad members of PN crew, and it looks like the lads might have just decided that they want to head towards the Severny side because they are taking an
Exactly.
exit and have landed towards the northern island, towards the shooting range island. So they will pick up these vehicles, move towards Severny, and then I think they might be looking to move forward from, like, they might take an approach towards the rest of
Yeah.
the game from that city. But we did see a standard circle towards the western side, so let's see how the rest of the story is going to unfold.
Yeah, we have to wait for this. But for now, it seems that PN Crew, as always, as usual, they are moving towards their drop location, that is of 7. In the whole PMPL season, we have seen these teams actually experimenting towards the latter half, where they somewhere went down to the area of southern half of the military base, where they already faced some of that onslaught from Stalwart Flex. But for now, it seems that the team is again going towards the area of Severny, and yep, they might rotate the way the area they are trying to go. But Ayush Legend, these two lads have impressed us a lot in that PMPL whole season. And talking about that, we also need to talk about this team, R3G Esports.
Yeah, I mean, R3G Esports is one of those teams that I haven't seen in a while, and I'm super excited to watch these players back in action. I mean, Nocto, Insane, returning players, Wolverine as well is a name that we know. Voltrux on the other side from the squad of F4 has been taken down. I believe 420 was the lad who dished out all the damage to get the knock. And F4, they might just be in some trouble as we do not see the rest of the players on the map anyway. One lad is available towards the shoreline, but that is not even going to matter as the players of R3G Esports end up securing that kill. Khan is just left to try and escape this unfortunate fate that has fallen upon his team right now. So F4 not off to a good start to this match.
Exactly, yeah, for not looking good at the very half of the game, and it seems that Khan is also facing some of the issue because it seemed that he may be stuck at that area of sand. But some of the teams have also joined this lobby, and it seems that a contestation-like situation has already erupted in the city of Georgiapul, where Future Station is up against the players of God. Look at the way the Kapshi is trying to spot down the player. Badram, Machine, Kapshi, Evil Eye. What are expectations, Johnny, again?
I mean, I do not know what to expect. Futurestation earlier on during the days, I mean, had you asked me this question 2 months ago, I would not have had to think much about this question. I would have been
Yeah.
straight away, all right, Futurestation, amazing team. They're going to take this fight. They're going to absolutely destroy God's Reborn, and they will take at least 10 to 11 kills in this matchup. That's what I would have said. Now, I don't know what to expect from this team. This early contestation will just give us an idea as to how this team is looking towards the rest of the scrims, because if they take God's Reborn is also a really good squad from Bangladesh. They've had amazing performances. This team they came in as a young set of players, but then they really established themselves as young players that you really need to keep a close eye on. Otherwise, they're going to destroy you. So this fight is really interesting. God's Reborn need to be careful, because even though Futurestation they do not look like they're in a good form, you can never underestimate these opponents. So far, God's Reborn, they're playing this perfectly. The players have sort of hidden themselves among the houses, not giving too many sound cues to the players of Futurestation. Yashiro, Sketch on one side, then we have Mad on the other side, and then we do see one of the players from the side of God's Reborn on the map taking a super wide rotation. So I do not know what that is about, but hey, we'll find out.
Yeah, we have to wait for that. And as you said, we just cannot expect something coming out of this game, because a new start, a new day, that means a new strategy. With that, we may see a wipe out of some team or the other, but it seems that the way the players are trying to just align themselves, we can see a fight once an opening is made. But as you mentioned, one player of Futurestation with that wide flank angle, can he take out the opening? Because now it seems that the Futurestation player Kapshi has heard the footsteps, because Ahmed, as you just said, he has heard the footsteps. Just because of that, he was just trying to pin a nade, and for now the scouting area is still being done. But on the backhand side, in that foreground, we just saw Futurestation one player just trying to find that off angle, and the moment an opening comes, I'm damn sure that Futurestation will go all in, blazing on the players of Gods.
I mean, that's something that I expect happens. I mean, they should be looking for an opening, but not too proactively. So let's see what is going to happen right now and how things are going to work out. But so far, I mean, it is a complete standstill, this fight. Kapshi watching the window with a nade in his hand. No, he hears the... Wait, what? Kapshi, what was that? But Bad Rep to the rescue for the team actually does manage to get a knock. On the other side, Khan actually gets an AKM in his hand and punishes the players of R3G Esports for what they did when the match started, avenging Voltrax, his fallen comrade, picking off Insane from the side of R3G. But now God's Reborn, they might just be in trouble as the squad of Futurestation is charging in their direction. Bad Rev did manage to get a knock, but the revive has been queued right now in the shack. Bad Rev overshooting the shack. His teammates are right behind him, and they're not even looking at these two players. Evil Eye, he might just run into the trap, and so does the rest of the lads from Futurestation, as in an instant the team is getting absolutely destroyed. Evil Eye finished off, Machine being taken down. Now it's up to Kapshi and Bad Rev. The door being broken away. God's Reborn, they somehow managed to find their footing in the midst of this chaos. Bad Rev does get a knock, but is that just going to be a consolation prize for the team, as there is another player present quite close to the knock player from the side of God's Reborn? Yashirao has Sketch right next to him, so revive might just come there. Machine, Barra needs to revive his teammates, so the situation can be salvaged somehow. Kapshi is in a wonderful position, and since Mad from the side of God's Reborn does not have a proper weapon, he has a VSS in his hands. Futurestation, Kapshi might just be able to take that duel. Let's see what is going to happen, how this fight is going to come to an end.
Yes, we have to wait for that. But in this fight, 2 men has already lost from the sides of Futurestation, and the best part for Gods are that they are still 4 men strong. But for how long? That's the question. But on the other side, we can see Khan going down. That means Venom Legend into the fight, and one by one other players are also being taken down. But let's head away towards the fight that is actually happening into the area of Georgiapur, as these teams are actually being punished now. Kapchi barely surviving on that 12 HP. Can Bad Rep pull this fighter off in its own name? That will be a question that is going to be answered in a moment or two, because the way Bad Rep is just trying to spot the players, he is looking deadly. 2 kills in its name for now, and all those 2 kills have also been secured in the name. But this fight can go down to the wire, because Bad Rev is just not trying to stop. He's just trying to hear all those footsteps, but also in order not to overexpose themselves. But Sketch, does he have enough first aid for him, and can he pull himself with the first aid? Let's see, we have to watch for that.
Well, we have to find out how this fight is going to come to an end as the players of Gods Reborn. I believe it's just Gets, the last player surviving. And as you mentioned, Bad Rev, he's being extremely careful as to not overextend while peaking the first floor. But uh, I mean, it's getting really chaotic here because if you keep a close eye on the kill feed, it looks like F4 and R3G are also going at it. And Khan, well, he has been destroying the players of R3G. But talk about destruction. Futurestation do end up succeeding in what they started with. They do end up taking out the entire squad of Gods Reborn. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the first team to take an exit from this match. Gods Reborn getting eliminated at the 15th position, all thanks to Futurestation. But while all that was happening, as I was saying, R3G and F4, their fight was happening. Well, R3G instead decided to take on the players of Venom Legends that were passing by. And I believe Venom Legends are all down to just one last surviving player. That is Frypan.
Yeah, Frypan, it seemed that he's a sole man surviving, and we just saw a fight happening in the area of Georgiapol. And at the start of the match, we were just discussing that we might see some fight contestation and some drop clash, and we just witnessed that. But talk about that fight. At one moment, it was the players of Future Station that made the opening knock, and then they were on the back foot because two of the players were knocked down. And for a moment, the players of GodX were over 4 men strong. But the way Future Station there made a comeback, that was phenomenal from their side. But let's see how they are going to be performing in the later half of the game, because they also have to make an entry into Zona. The circle has already made a second shift, and sooner or later they have to make a rotation, because after that third circle, Johnny, it seems that that brunt that you get from that blue zone, that becomes unbearable.
Yeah, I mean, in the early stages, it's just really minor tick damage that you have to deal with. But as you said, in the later stages, fourth circle onwards, the damage is quite significant. So you have to end up using a lot of first aid, a lot of healing utility just to combat that. So early stages, I believe we always do see a few teams here and there making those late rotations. So not a situation that I think a team like Future Station, who got delayed because of the fight that they were having, would be too worried about. So I believe they would still have a much easier time coming down
Yeah.
towards the south, where they have to actually move in towards the circle. But let's talk about this right now. The squad of XB Blood Legion, a team that when we saw for the first time were all about aggression, but now things have sort of changed, and they are stuck out in the open. We did see them being surrounded by two teams. There's DRS on one side, and then there is A1 Esports right behind them, and DRS have opened things up, taking down one individual. Leo smoking up close to his teammates so he can go for the revive. Let's see if that is going to be allowed by the players of DRS.
It becomes actually very tough to make a revival from the smoke, because you can just impair the vision, but still the bullet travels through that smoke. And with that, it seems that Blood Legion are also onto the radars from the players of A1 Esports. So that means that they have successfully unintentionally been able to attract the attention from two teams, that is from DRS and from the players of A1 Esports. But from that kill feed, it seems that T2K are also trying to pincer down the players of DRS, and the chaos is gonna come next moment.
Well, yeah, chaos can, like, it can commence at any given time now, since XP Blood Legion have revealed to the players of DRS where they were headed. So DRS is one of those teams that will always somehow manage to keep track of your exact position. Plus A1 Esports is also a team that you can't scoff too much about. You can't take them lightly. Jax, Sinister, Shoykot 69 Boy, these lads are pretty deadly. But talk about deadly, T2K Utsarga dropping AJ from the side of DRS Gaming will result in the squad of DRS not having the firepower that they would need in order to make it to the end game stages. Let's see how that's going to work out for the team. I want to have a look at that fight as well. T2K versus DRS. That is going to make things really, really interesting. Two teams from Nepal going at it against each other. And not just two teams from Nepal. Right now, at this point, I would say two of the best teams from Nepal.
Yep. You have to agree with that, because T2K and DRS, they have performed brilliantly in the past. If you talk of the PMPL, they just showcased and they just outshined other players. And we were also mentioning the names of the players of T2K and the team as a whole. They have been successfully pulling out some blinders. If we talk about it, for now, it seems the circle has already made a shift, and this hard shift towards the eastern half. That means some of the teams, for example, Future Station and teams like Skylight Gaming 7Cs are into the circle. And with that, we can see PN Crew still trying to make an entry from the northern side. But look at that cluster that has already developed on the western half. what do you think? How these teams are gonna be panning out the rest of the match? Because I can see a very huge cluster developing near the area of farm.
I mean, there is a massive cluster right there, and it's all open area, so things will look really interesting. And it is going to be an advantageous situation for the players who have actually gotten themselves in cover. Teams like HP Blood Legion, as Gyro does pour out the players of Freestyle, goes for a few shots, but ends up missing the target right there. Futurestation now aware of where the threat was in front of them, but are they going to be aware of the threat that surrounds them from all the different directions? Because it's not just HP Blood Legion now they have to worry about, it's the other players as well.
Exactly, and also Blood Legion, they have to be worried about the situation, but they still have to wait. The circle makes a shift away from them. They might then have to traverse, but the way Skylight Gaming players are just trying to rotate in the way they are holding a good ridge for now. Let's see if the circle goes away from them. How would they make an entry? Because as the circle crumbles, as the circle makes a shift again and again, obviously the team and the players will crumble for all the space, because we still have 46 players and 14 teams in the lobby, and we are heading towards the 15 minutes of this game.
Well, I mean, it is going to make things really, really interesting to see how the game is going to progress now. 14 teams, 46 players still alive. Vibes against the players of Skylight Gaming. So it is going to be another really interesting situation. Joker right now peeking the window where Malik is with a DP in his hands. DRS Gaming taking multiple fights at the same time. PN Crew taking on the players. So I believe that is F4 Destroyer that has just been taken down. And as I said, DRS, they're just taking on anyone that makes the mistake of getting too close to them. Right now, it is the players of Freestyle, as two of the lads have been taken down. It looks like Freestyle might just be sandwiched. DRS from one side and T2K from the other.
Exactly, blah 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 has having a very keen eye onto this, and we have already seen into the very first half of the game that blah 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 is not stopping, and he just won't want this opportunity to go from his side, because this can be free kills, as Freestyles, the players of Freestyles have already been caught in the rotation, so they have to watch for this because there are still 2 games coming into the action. But with that, some players are also going down one by one with the brunt of play zone. But does T2K know that the players of Freestyle are very close to them, and it seems that also one airdrop is just trying to make a headway on the same area where T2Ks are positioned.
Well, yeah, T2K, they might just be in a really comfortable position because of that. Let's see what was in the airdrop. And ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend is being present in the kill feed. Tyrant making himself known that he is there in the server as well, taking down one of the players from the side of T2K. That was a knock, not a finish, but talk about finishes. XB Blood Legion might be heading to one as they come across the players of DRS. Gyalzen and Mr. Boro are right there. Gyalzen has been taken down. That just leaves Mr. Boro. I believe he's the last surviving player for the squad. Gyalzen is going to be finished off. B1 from the side of XB Blood Legion, tossing out a nade, and that should do the trick. There it is. Gyalzen's kill being secured. But now, how do they secure the kill of Mr. Boro? That has to be a massive question, because he's hiding in that watchtower. And in order to get to him, they have to expose themselves, which I believe the team does not want to do. So the plan of action for the players of XB Blood Legion, the best plan of action would just be to take control of this compound, even though it's on the it's in the dip right here. They just have to hide themselves from all the threats.
But they must be looking to finish off the Boro, because one more uninvited entry has been made by teams of Skylight Gaming. Just a moment back, we just saw they were also close to Blood Legion, and they are just following them and following their trail. But for how long Mr. Boro will survive, because he's a soulman surviving, and it only goes down to him that the longer he survives, that he will be able to secure more and more placement point. But talk about the players of Blood Legion. 1 kill into the name. Can they maximize this number, as a nade has been also run? And what that? B1 just eliminated with that pinpoint precision nade, and with that, DRS Gaming makes an exit at the 13th spot in this match, and with that 2 kills into the names and into the players of Blood Legion, they are looking damn pretty strong.
See, I told you you're going to be surprised and you're going to be excited. I was expecting that to happen by the end of the day, but I guess the first match is setting up a wonderful pace for and a momentum for these teams that are performing right now. Oh, Black, he has Jack spotted out in that shack, but does he know where the rest of the players for of A1 Esports are? Because now Black's position is, well, it's revealed. They know where he is exactly. And one of the players from the side of A1 Esports might just try and act a little cheeky, go wide along that ridge, peek out from there, and then take a few shots on Black in retaliation for threatening his teammates. So let's see
Yeah.
if that is going to happen. But so far, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 12 team, 36 players still alive in this game. The few teams that were able to rotate in early are still holding on to the cover that they managed to secure for themselves, apart from DRS, who was just wiped out by the team of XB Blood Legion. Everyone else, teams like Skylight Gaming, teams like Freestyle, just R3G as well, they are forced to just stick to the ground, just stay prone to the ground, and just try and hide in the open.
But man, oh man, the clock is ticking, and with that fifth circle makes a shift away from the players, and it seemed that the Blood Legion might be just on the edge of the circle, but it seemed that Skylight Gaming are still holding that eastern edge. Will they allow the players from the eastern and the northern side to make an entry? This will be a question, and that will be answered. Or Skylight Gaming may maximize the kill, but look at that circle shift as we were just discussing about. Blood Legion out of the zone, Futurestation out of the zone, PN Crew, all these teams, all these big names have to make an entry, but only two teams I see, that is 7 Seas and Skylight Gaming, holding the very eastern and very western half of the zone, but rest of the team, they have to make an entry. And I'm more concerned about the way A1 Esports are going to make an entry, because the way they would make an entry, just on the edge, T2K would be ready to welcome them.
Yeah, I mean, that is all going to come down to how they actually plan things out. Not plan, I'm sorry, time things with their rotation, because even T2K is outside the circle, right? So as soon as T2K starts to move in little by little, that if A1 Esports come in at exactly that time, then they might be able to pick up the fight. But look at that, Rahman stepping into action as he actually ends up taking down the last surviving player of Venom Legends. Frypan has been taken out of this game, ladies and gentlemen, bringing us down to 10 teams, 32 players still alive. Skylight Gaming, I thought their position was safe because of the sort of ridge that we see from this perspective, but apparently it's not, because one of their players was just taken out by 7 Seas, who are on the western edge of the circle, by the way. So that is sort of an interesting situation. Not a comfortable position for Skylight Gaming. Look at the kill feed. Leon just getting finished off right there.
Exactly, a very long range fight, but kudos to the guys, the way the Futurestation player, freestyle players are actually trying to maneuver themselves, but this slam, this nade, oh my goodness, two players are already down. Jack, 6-9 with that Shoikot, one also goes down, and Sinister barely surviving on 20 HP, but for how long will he survive? That's a question, because we can also see one more elimination from the side onto A1 Esports. Sinister barely surviving, Jack's just trying to clear, but Tyrant, can he make a move? Can he make a move? That is a guy, just you need to turn it back, and yes, with that elimination for A1 Esports.
I mean, they do eliminate A1 Esports, but Tyrant could not get out fast enough, as before he was taken out, Sinister does end up finishing one of the players from the side of FS. Quite unfortunate right then. Also, XB Blood Legion chime in from the other side. They end up taking Tyrant down. So now it is just Vegeta from the side of Freestyle Esports that is surviving. Tyrant has been knocked down. The revive should come in, although Dominic has other plans. He has a grenade in his hand. He knows where the smoke is. So the radius of the smoke is actually pretty wide, right? It's going to take at least 2 nades on one end each in order to dish out any damage. But this one, it looks perfect, and it was perfect, in fact, as Dominic once again takes down Tyrant just seconds after the revive happened. Down to 6 teams, make it 5, as Freestyle are going to be forced to go back to the lobby by the hands of Dominic. And when I say hands, I mean hands, because he was just not stopping with the grenades. But now Dominic, he's going to have to answer to the judges of the game. I mean, as he gets taken out, that is the problem with using utility out in the open. You have to expose yourself too much.
Yep, you have to. And just a moment back, we just see teams being eliminated. And Johnny, within split second, we were at 10 teams, and in just a minute, look at that, we are just down to 5 teams, still 18 men alive. Can this PN Crew as a team pull off a blinder, because they are still 4 men strong, holding the northeastern edge? Can this be a game, because they still have to move and make a movement of 27 meter, but because of that, they also have to eliminate the players of Futurestation if they have to make an entry, because they are just standing like a rock.
Well, they are in fact standing like rocks, as you said, not moving at all, just putting up a lot of pressure on their opponents. PN Crew, they have a really weird situation that they are in right now. They're on the edge of the circle. They have to move in, but as we have been talking about it, ladies and gentlemen, for the past 20 minutes. The circle is out in the open, so moving in right now is something that is going to put you at risk, as Killer Whitey just finds out, taking a few shots to the face, dropping down to around 40% HP. T2K still in this situation. Jane was the lad that was knocked out, but right now, the person who's on our screens, it is going to be blah, 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 and he has been spotted out by the players of 7Cs. TrueLove getting a knock for his team. And
Yep.
I believe that should be able to, they should be able to convert it into a kill. Yes, they do. Blah, blah, blah. Was finished off. 7C.
Exactly.
In a really good position. Look at that. They have the high ground. Oh, as I say that, literally the second I said they were in a good position. The circle was like, what? And it moved away.
Exactly, Circle made a shift and away from them the circle goes. That means 36 meters they have to make an entry, but with that T2K circle also close down. That means that they are also facing the brunt of the players of Blood Legion. But the way Jane is just trying to make that proning action, he is looking good for now. But PN Clue, Killer Whitey goes down, Ayush is also knocked down, and it is all down again to the legend. We have seen this player rescuing himself as a team and playing brilliantly. Can they again rescue himself? This is a question, but for now it's a very difficult situation. It's a very crispy situation, and he has to take himself out. And soon it seems that Sandesh will bleed off. That means after that 5 kills, he is the lone man surviving from his team party. One thing he does manage to get himself for that is to finish the player from Futurestation Kapshi. That means one more team gets an elimination.
Yeah, one more team gets exit, and well, Legend does end up securing one extra point for his team, which is always going to be a good thing. But now it does come down to the big question as to who will get the chicken dinner. Because PN Crew, well, it's just one player, so they are not going to be able to accomplish much in this game unless Legend just turns on God mode all of a sudden and just waits for the perfect time, ends up destroying whoever's left by the end of the match. XB Blood Legion and 7C. The two teams have the highest probability of taking the chicken dinner and securing it in their favor, but Legends makes himself known to the players of 7C. 7C might be in some trouble as Rig is going to be the last surviving player, I believe, for the team. Gyro taking down one, Legend taking down one more, and well, Gyro knows exactly where he knocked out TrueLove from. Another spray being connected in the same direction. TrueLove dropping down to 50% HP. PN Crew Legend will be finished off with a nade from the side of XP Blood Legion. It was B1 who tossed this one, not Dominic, the man who's an absolute god with those grenades. But now XP Blood Legion find themselves in a position from where they can actually move forward really nicely in order to secure this finish. It's down to 3 teams. There is XP Blood Legion, there is 7C, and there's that one individual from T2K, Jane, who is somehow still there.
Yep, he has done pretty decently for his team, and he has taken some good placement points for now. Can he secure some more kills in his name? That will be a question. But the way XB Blood Legion is dominating on this whole map, they have cleared all the congestions, all the clusters, and now it is down to all the individual players, all the individual teams that they are just trying to take down one by one. For now, 10 kills onto the name, and they are just still not stopping. B1 again with that M416 spray, they are just not stopping. 11 kill, can they make it to 15? That's a question that will be answered in a moment or two. Playzone takes the players from 7C. That means one more player goes down, and it seems that TrueLove is the sole man surviving with Rig barely surviving on 1 HP. But TrueLove, look at that, a good retaliation coming from his side with that barrel 6x spray. These all players are God, Johnny. These all players are God.
Yeah, definitely. But look at this. He's not stopping. TrueLove just showering his opponents with the love of the lead bullets that are there in his barrel. Yeah, it is impressive. And he somehow managed to control the entire spray. Now it's down to a 1v1 between him and B1. It's TrueLove versus B1. B1 spots TrueLove out. Oh, he sees the head, but he misses the shots right there. TrueLove just going right behind the cover, right at the very right second. Now B1, he's going for the charge. If TrueLove has a first aid, then he might just be able to close this fight out. But no, that was a big mistake. B1, he went for a grenade.
What was that?
Waiting for the perfect opportunity. Peeks out from behind the trees. Takes the shot. B1 goes down, and 7C Esports secure the chicken dinner.
Oh my goodness. That was the chicken dinner gifted to 7Cs.
Yeah, it was.
On 20 HP, he takes the fight. Oh my goodness, what a blunder coming up in this first match of the day. And 7Cs Esports, 8 kills into the names, and also Blood Legion. With that, they must be disappointed with the way that last player just went down. I think he was just got a bit overconfident. Maybe.
But kudos to TrueLove, man. That was a 1v3 situation, and he was able to clutch out that 1v3 in the end. Also, I mean, all right, I have a theory as to what exactly happened in the end because I was also thinking the way B1 was thinking. Remember what I said? I said if True Love has a first aid, B1, True Love might be able to take this fight. B1 thought the same thing. He thought True Love had a first aid on him and he was healing. First aid take a lot more time than bandages in order for the application process to finish, right? So
Exactly.
that was enough time for B1 to toss the nade behind the tree and then switch back to his weapon and take the fight. But no, True Love, 200 IQ plays. He's like, who needs health when my opponent is not even going to exist? Puts on a bandage, gets out, finishes B1 off, and gets the chicken dinner.
Yes, yes, yes. And we were never expected this fight to go down this way
Yeah.
because he was so sure that he must be healing himself in. But Seven Seas players had some other idea, and with that, a chicken into the name. Absolutely phenomenal first match, impeccable gameplay from all these sides. But Blood Legion, that aggression. You were talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
some teams might go for that aggression stance.
I have to say, I mean,
Superb, superb.
and this is the Blood Legion that we know, right? This is the Blood Legion that we expect every single time they step into the lobby. In the last tournament, we saw them. I don't know what happened to the team. For some reason, they weren't picking up those aggressive fights. They were just being too passive. But now, I guess the team is back to their usual selves, and
Exactly.
it's always a pleasure to watch these lads. But along with them, I mean, there were a lot of interesting moments happening in this game throughout the match. I want to know from you, did you have fun like casting this game? Was it everything that
It,
I built
it
it
was a
up to
hell of a
be?
game, to be very honest.
Yeah,
Right from the bat, the contestation that erupted in the area of Georgiopol, where Futurestation were looking damn too strong. They also got down to the wires, where I
yeah.
guess it was the players of Blood Legion itself that eliminated the players of Futurestation with that grenade from B1, and the whole match. It was a very good game, to be very honest, in the first match, and you expect these fights to come up in the very first half of this day.
Exactly. I mean, it was interesting, but now, I mean, the standings for the game are going to be revealed. After that, we will have the overall standings as to how things are going to change. And I know, I mean, a lot of our viewers are waiting for a couple of teams in particular. One of the names being the name of the leaders of the lobby, the team that was sitting on the first position before this match. They will be stepping into the next few matches, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be STALWARTxFLEX. But talking about this game in particular, yes, a wonderful performance by 7C securing that
Yeah.
chicken dinner. Some a wonderful performance by XB Blood Legion. I have to say, good survival game being displayed by
Yeah.
legend from PN Crew, a man that we know has made himself known for his clutches. Then T2K Jane as well, just making sure that he brings his team to the top three position. And both these players had the same tactic in mind, right? They were using the fact that 7Cs and XB Blood Legion were too distracted amongst themselves to sort of bother any one individual laying around, and both of them actually tried to pick on a few individuals from these teams, Jane going after 7Cs and Legend going after XB Blood Legion, but it did not work out.
Exactly, because you don't just want to mess with the players of Blood Legion, because at the end of the day, you just get two opportunity in the day,
Yeah.
and this was the best way to capitalize and to maximize the way Blood Legion did, because they not only secured the chicken dinner, it was a high fragging game for them. But
Oh, yeah.
let's talk about the team that was actually also looking good. Freestyles. We were talking about they
Ooh.
might get sandwich at a team, but by the two teams, one was DRS, I guess, and so on the second half it was T2K. But the way they held that ditch,
Yeah.
because with the way popping out all those smokes, that was impeccable game side from them, and the way one team tried to make a slam, that was actually also pulled down. And I guess it was a team of A1 Esports that, out of
Yeah.
desperation, just because they have to make an entry from the eastern half, they have to make an entry. They had to make an entry because you just cannot go down with the play zone. So they were just trying to look for those fights, but that well cooked nade from the players of freestyle, that helped
Well,
them
like
too.
I completely agree with that. I couldn't have put it in better words. I mean, that was perfectly laid out. Freestyle, as you said, I mean, them being sandwiched between DRS and T2K, even I felt like, all right, this team is done because the circle also took a shift towards the west there, and there was no escape for them. But they
Yeah.
still did manage to, well, pick up those few kills, right? There was a little bit of a miscommunication, I believe, during that fight with Tyrant just charging in. His timing was perfect, but the information that was being relayed from the players in the back as to where the opponent was exactly, that might have
Exactly.
thrown him a little bit off because he went way too wide ahead of the smoke in order to take that kill, delaying in the end when the kill was actually secured and his teammate went down.
Exactly.
And then it was XP Blood Legion's dominance, just
Exactly,
being an
exactly,
absolute monster with those nades.
Yep.
But yes, Futurestation, good performance from this team, and that is, I believe, I do expect their rotations to be really, really precise because, well,
Oh,
they have
yes.
Tyrant, a man who is really well known in the region of Pakistan as an IGL. So he has a lot to bring to the table. But we also have a lot to bring to you guys, such as the standings for this match.
Yes, and with that Blood Legion, 12 kills, Chicken Dinner, 12 kills to total placement points because they were the second team to get and total of 24 points. But 7C's Esports, 8 kills also in the name. PN Crew coming third in this match with total of 7 kills and 15 total points. Futurestation also doing pretty good, total 14 points and sharing the same points with the team of Train 2 kills. So I can see good teams coming from the areas and a well-distributed point system. If we talk about the areas, regions of Nepal and Bangladesh.
Yeah, I mean, definitely putting up a wonderful performance, as you said, just making sure that there's a decent balance between the kills and the placement points right there. But then we have the teams of Pakistan that are sticking together. And I mean, we know that that region is known for its aggression.
Yeah.
The teams never shy away from those team fights. They are really, really good at those things. And we did see the teams of Futurestation right there. Not Futurestation, I'm sorry, Freestyle and F4 sticking together. But as we move down the standings, a lot of surprises as DRS Gaming is the team on the 16th position with Carnage Esports on the 15th. And then we have A1 Esports securing 3 points, Skylight Gaming getting 2 points from this match. So the teams that we expected, I mean, personally, I expected these teams to actually have it finish in the top 5, but all of them, well, not having a good first game, I guess.
So yeah, apart from the first table, second table doesn't have a good point distribution system as we see because Venom Legends 3 points, A1 Esports 3 points. So some of the Bangladeshi teams, obviously they had some good performance. If you talk about the players from Futurestation, they had some decent outing in this match. But Venom Legends, A1 Esports, some faltering out from their side. But none points were scored from the team of Magnus Esports, Carnage Esports, and DRS Gaming. So these were the two teams actually, Carnage Esports and DRS Gaming, that had a very decent outing. If we talk about the way they played in the PMPL games, but with that again, Group B will be in action when they will collide against the players of Group C. That means DRS one more game back to back into their name.
Well, I mean, let's see how things are going to work out for this team because the day is not over, right? They still have one more match to play. Maybe because that is one thing that I've noticed with some of the top teams of every single region. One thing they have in common is they live on extremes. Either they will have matches where they absolutely destroy teams and secure those like 25 points in a single game or 20 plus points in a single match, or they take an early exit and get eliminated early with like either no kills or like 3-4 kills. But let's see how the rest of the games are going to go. For now, although we're going to take a very short break, so you guys stay tuned and keep watching. We'll be right back. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrim South Asia 2021, brought to you by R3G Gaming. My name is Varun Super Johnny John, joined by Ankit Sharma right next to me. Match number one, which was between teams from Group A and B, is over.
Yeah,
Now we'll be moving forward to match number two. Between groups B and C, and the map is not going to change for a surprise. It is going to be
exactly.
Erangel once again.
Yeah, for all those of you that just chimed in this match and in this scrims, ladies and gentlemen, all the two games that are still left will be on the game of Erangel. So more fun for you. And in the first match, we just saw how the players of Seven Seas and Blood Legion just fought out between against each other and just secure the chicken into the name. But let's talk about some moments that actually took me away from that. For example, that nade from B1 from the
Oh
side
yeah.
of Blood Legion. That was phenomenal, Nate. Precise, Nate. But I was surprised that the players of DRS didn't they predict, didn't they preempt that a nade might come from the side of Blood Legion? But one thing for sure is for sure, Varun, that
Yeah.
all these teams have performed differently on a different pedestal in a different way on the World League, and now when the scrims are happening, some other teams, some teams that are emerging, or maybe the teams that have not performed the way they did on that world stage are now performing. So one thing is for sure that we are going to witness some pretty real action.
I mean, what usually happens is one thing that I've noticed with not just big teams but almost every single team, and it is sort of the thing that keeps on repeating is after a major tournament, players do like to rest. They like to chill a little, so uh, they might just be a little out of practice, but. Let's see, hoping to see them start performing again. But we do have the overall standings in front of us, and a switcheroo has occurred right here as Train to Kill take the lead with 98 points to their name. XB Blood Legion just tying things up, 98 points to XB Blood Legion as well, sitting on the second
Yeah.
position with two chicken dinners,
Yep.
by
Yep.
the
Yep.
way. F4 and Stalwart on the third and fourth position. So those two teams have dropped down, but STALWARTxFLEX will be coming up again in this match.
Exactly.
So let's see what they will be bringing to the table.
So yeah, back-to-back games will be there for the players of StalWartxFLEX, and just because of that, uh, some teams with just 9 matches they are still topping the chart, and a team like F4 Esports 10 games, 9
Yeah.
games also into their names, and they are 10 games into the name, and they are still on that top 4 position. But let's talk about the teams that are on the second half of the chart. Talk about R3D Esports, High Voltage Esports, High Voltage A1 Esports, R3G, and Deadeyes Guys. So Deadeyes Guys, this team has also impressed me a lot when we talk about these teams in the way they showcase the performance on that world stage. And
Yeah.
with the Group C coming to action, I just hope that this team is also gonna make some toppling actions in the top half of the chart.
I mean, I agree with you because Group C has a lot of interesting names in it. I mean,
1952 also.
yeah, 1952 is there, StalWartxFLEX is there, there's INES, then there is R3D Esports along with Team TUF. TUF and R3D Esports, really interesting team. R3D Esports pulling up wonders during their run in the PMPL. We do not see the team moving forward in the finals of South Asia region, but I mean the run that they had was still
Yeah.
pretty incredible because this team has improved a lot in comparison to their performances during the PMCOs during the previous tournaments, and I see them in the new with a new perspective. But now Team TUF is another interesting name that sort of comes up, a decent lineup, but I hope they pick up the pace as they move forward in the tournament. They will be playing the next game again, part of Group C. Then there is Deadeyes Guys present in this group as well. So we're going to see how that lineup is going to perform. But the standings, I mean, are sort of chaotic. A lot of the teams not really performing to the level that we expected them to. But hey, I mean, it is the scrims right here for these lads. So as we were talking about before game number one, there is a lot of experimentation going with these players, and I believe once we start reaching the final few days of the scrims, which by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is a long time in the future. So it is going to be a while before we have those final few matches.
Yeah.
That is when we'll see the teams showcase the play style that they have been building up.
Yep, we have to wait for that once all these things happen, and
Yeah.
we have seen all these teams actually trying to make the most of the situation. And just you talked about now the time that they have to pull up the socks, especially teams like TUF that is holding the stronghold of Group C. But for now, it seems they are not holding the stronghold of that points table ranking because they are way down on the third half of the chart as they are 24 teams. That means the total chart is divided into three parts with obviously eight teams, and eight teams, and obviously TUF holding on to the third. Some teams are also holding that third chart. They still need to make a push for themselves in order to secure some good positioning points because, after all, the top four teams will be getting that prize amount. So you have to be in that, and it becomes actually very challenging to
Yeah.
because in the top four it becomes actually challenging.
Yeah, it is quite challenging in the top four. I mean, it's really hard to compete. And as you mentioned, only the top four will be receiving the prize money. So it is going to be a really tough competition.
Yeah,
Right now, as we did just see the standings, T2K, XB Blood Legion, F4, and STALWARTxFLEX actually do find themselves in those prize pool distribution slots. But things are going to change. F4,
exactly.
they played a little bit differently, but I mean, kudos to them. They tried to recover a worst possible start to the game as Voltrux was taken down. Khan actually doing an amazing job securing a few kill points for his team. Destroyer as well, just trying his level best. But that is not going to be enough in order to take on T2K, in order to take like XP Blood Legions, the teams that are well building up really strong momentums for themselves, you will have to get those chicken dinner finishes. And let's see what if the teams will be able to accomplish that in the future.
Yep, you have to think something out of the box, and you just try to build a new narrative. You just cannot go with the same game approach and style that you have played in the
Yeah.
past. And talking about that, Blood Legion, we saw a new approach from themselves. The way they were just known, because in the last tournament, I remember in which they played before the PMPL. This were the only team from that Bangladesh region that had more kill points as we compare to that placement point. So this was the aggressive strategy that they were actually looking up for, and with that they also secured good total points in that, and they are finding themselves in that comfortable position in the top half of the chart. But I just want you to draw that attention that from 1 to 6 there was just 5 to 8 point difference. That means the point difference is not very much, and the competition is going neck to neck as all of the teams are just trying to outshine in order to shine themselves. And with that, STALWARTxFLEX will be back in action, and one game they just didn't play because they were not in that group, and Group C into the action. That means they will be back, and with that, more actions from the STALWARTxFLEX, and Pakistani fans, they must be waiting for this.
I mean, a lot of players are waiting for this. The audience is waiting for the action as well. But unfortunately, we have to take a very quick break, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys stay tuned and keep watching. We'll be right back with the action of match number 2. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims South Asia 2021, brought to you by R3G Gaming. My name is Varun Super Johnny John, joined by Ankit Sharma right next to me. And well, I believe match number 2 between teams from Group B and C should be starting anytime soon. We are also waiting for the action to commence, just like you guys. And let's see how the teams are going to play things out in this one.
Yeah, B and C again, one against each other. In the last match, we saw A and B against going each other, and B and C. And obviously, simultaneously, the last match for the day will be for A and C. So, Group A goes out for this match. That means the team like Blood Legion will be missing the action. So, do you think, Varun, that maybe this is a thing that might go against them because they were in a momentum? So, if they had got a back-to-back match, they could have capitalized more onto this. So, as a team, how important it becomes to play back-to-back matches?
Well, it can get quite tricky when you're playing matches on stretch, like when you're playing 5 games back to back. Then I believe stamina can play a key factor, especially mental stamina for these lads. But it is just 2 games for these teams, so they should be warmed up to perform in this match. Let's see how things are going to go, as we do have the trajectory on our screens and dividing the map in half right now, starting from the western side of Gatka, the extreme western edge, moving straight through Gatka, Pochinki, Shelter, and the trajectory is going to end on the southern side of Lipovka. So, I mean, it should be quite an interesting thing to see where the teams are going to drop. And for now, well, we do see 3 teams taking exits towards the Georgia Pole side, while we have quite an even spread of teams in the remainder of the map. Skylight Gaming going for a 4-man split drop in the location of Gatka. So I want to see how the early game actually holds up for that team right there. 1952 on the other side, Primorsk, Ferry
Yeah.
an interesting situation between those teams. Another early game skirmish that we do always expect on Erangel is going to be STALWARTxFLEX
Yeah.
versus 1952.
Exactly, and we do again with that Ferry split. In the past, we have seen Ferry and Sharky has been their 2 choices, but in the very first half of the game, Magnet with his Bison is just not trying to stop, as he has already taken 2 players from STALWARTxFLEX as Crypto goes down, and Crypto has been finished off. And STALWARTxFLEX, how many times we have seen the same strategy working out from this favor, but from these sides, but this time it seems that they have been severely punished, and maybe some chit chat going on before the final nail is drained in the coffin.
Maybe that was this thing right there with STALWARTxFLEX again. So this is a fight that always happens when these 2 teams are present in the same lobby, and it has been sort of an even record between these 2 teams. But now STALWARTxFLEX will not be happy about the fact that 2 of the lads from the side have been taken down this earlier on. 1952, although walking away with those 2 early kills, find themselves in a really comfortable position. STALWARTxFLEX will have to decide. A key question for them will be: do they, can they, or in fact, can they actually now afford to head towards the military island? Because they might, if they go there, then getting back is going
Exactly.
to, well, it's not going to be easy.
Exactly.
But if they decide to stick on the main island, then well, they will have to take those early game fights. We do see Blade and Johnny just sitting on the buggy right now. Let's see what they have in mind.
Yep, John is still on that buggy, and with the fact in the drawn in the very first half of the game that STALWARTxFLEX has lost 2 men, so they must not go to that military base. But it seemed that one of the player is facing some of the issue, and just because of that, we can see one player has already thrown down just in order. If any slam in, maybe if any case it comes, he will be the player that will rescue him. But for now, they are not looking in a good touch because eliminating 2 players in the very first of the game is the last list on that priority list that a team may look up for. But for now, it seems that after that early bruise up, they are just trying to recover, as that with just that rudimentary loot with the help of buggy, they are just trying to retreat and make an entry towards the area of Georgiapol. And maybe, and talking about that, we are already witnessing, can we witness again one more fight into this area of Georgiapol or hospital? That will be a question that maybe if team tries to converge will be answered in a moment or two. But talking about this team, they just need a good outing in this match, because we saw them in the very down half of the chart. They were close to 24 or 23rd position.
Well, yeah, they. I believe they're the second last team as far as the standing are concerned. But hold on to that thought for a while. Did Edgar somehow figure out a way to clone himself? Because I see two TUF Edgars in the squad list right here for the team. If
Yeah.
there's two of him, I mean, they have to be on the same wavelength. That's going to be twice the threat to his opponents. Let's see what that is going to
Exactly.
be about. All right, one of the Edgars is right here. Where is the other lad?
Other lad, it seems that he might be looting the areas of hospital, or the areas adjoining the areas of the compounds, or maybe we have to wait for that. But some interesting clone up, by the way, you have already discussed. And let's see. So, what do you guess? Which Edgar would take the first kill?
I
if
have no idea. I also would like to figure out which is the real Edgar right here, but we'll talk about that later on, as Johnny actually finds himself in a really bad situation as he has to take on the players of Skylight Gaming right now. He has managed to get one knock for his team. It's a 1v3 situation. Blade closing in from the backline.
Yeah.
He's up to Chari and Joker. I believe already it's Heaven. Heaven with the UMP in his hands. They will try to make sure that they do not lose this fight. It's a 2v3 situation. Johnny is still on the outside. He's trying to find a way to enter into this farm out, but takes a nade to the face. Both him and Blade are down to 50% HP, while the players of Skylight Gaming revive their teammate. Chari bouncing the nade off the Skylight right there, and well, off the window pane, and tossing it on the other side, but it's going to miss its marks. Johnny and Blade still hiding outside the farmhouse. They're still somehow surviving. Look at the flank from Joker. That is going to be so deadly to these two players. I believe this has to be the end of Skylight Gaming.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. And with that, a nade, maybe a follow-up nade can finish things off. But you were talking about the flank angle from Joker. This is a moment where it might pincer them down, and this can be a demise for them. But Leon still not just waiting. He's just trying to flush out all those players. But for how long will the players of STALWARTxFLEX survive? Because he is up against the four big names for Skylight Gaming. Blade, although he takes one player down, just trying to finish his things off for him. But the final nail in the coffin has been drawn to him, and in the very first half of the game, just in 7 minutes, one team has already faced an elimination. And which team? Guess which team? The team that already was in the top before the start of the day.
Yeah, I mean, quite an unfortunate situation for Skylight Gaming right there, but I guess the trend of the top teams taking an early exit is going to carry even in this game. As you said, Skylight Gaming taking an early exit, two players being taken out by 1952, and the remaining two being picked off by Skylight Gaming. But let's see how the rest of the game is going to go. The players of Deadeyes Guys, although in front of us right now, and well, they are home. Rozok
Yeah.
has always been their city, their drop location, and here they are again.
Exactly. And I would be very much interested to see once the Group A comes into the action, because we have seen in the past the banter that goes in the city of Rozok where they were contested. Can we see the same banter? Can we see the same fight? Can we see the same action and adventure? We have to wait for that, because for now it's Group B and C into the action, and it seems that some teams are also in not looking a good position, as the players of Fives have already done some damage onto its opposition players. An open revival, it becomes a bit tricky, but with the help of smoke, it can become more tricky, as if you throw the smoke, you can impair the vision, but the bullet can still travel through that. And with that vibes, the second game for them, they are looking good for now, because they have been able to secure one kill into them. It seems that Tahavi can soon be finished up. Yes, Jiggles secures the kill for this team, and Vibe might be marching in towards one another onto the rest of the players.
I mean, yeah, wonderful finish right there, just catching that individual player off guard, completely exposed, and just making sure that they do get the kill for themselves.
Yeah.
But for the people that might be wondering what is this squad right there, well, that is Carnage Esports, now renamed as Vibe. So it's the same lineup that was there with Carnage. Let's see if the change in the name of the lads will sort of change their performance as well. I mean, I hope not, because Carnage Esports was, well, they know what they are doing. The team has
Exactly.
always shown really good performances, and then we have the players of LoG1 Esports right here. In the recent days, I actually had the opportunity of seeing the lad STFU right there. So he a pretty decent player, but let's see how he's going to perform against these players present in this lobby. Players like A1 Esports and F4 right there. As we do see
Yeah.
them in the distance, but A1 Esports might just be in some trouble. As we do see on the map, Jiggle might just be able to spot out a few players. Oh, he just
Oh.
rams into his own teammate. That has made a lot of noise. I'm pretty sure about that. And F4 were present in the distance as well. But what is happening? A1 Esports, they just let Carnage Esports get away.
Exactly. It seems that A1 Esports are just not trying to spot down. They have already spotted on the players, but they're just not trying to take them the shot because they just don't want to their location to be revealed, because they are. If you see towards this team, they are in a split. So maybe if they reveal the location for now, thing might go against them. So this is a strategy that A1 Esports has been looking up for a long time, because they just avoid for the early skirmish, early battle if they are even phased up to. But for now, A1 Esports did a decent job in not letting other teams know that they are positioned in this very good area. And look at that 6-9 holding that lighthouse. This player has impressed me a lot in the PMPL that just finished off. And can this team impress in the second opportunity and second match for the day in this map of Erangel? A question is to be answered. But with that, NFP, it seems that the players from Carnage Esports securing that 2 kill, they are looking in a very good touch, because this is sheer confidence. The way they were just trying to bam and ram the vehicle amongst each other, they hold the confidence for now.
Well, I mean, let's see if they can sort of rebuild the confidence again. And Carnage Esports, they're going to be taken down. Not the entire squad, though. Just one player, Jiggle, was the man that was taken down by Halsey from NFPxSky Esports right here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But to secure the finish, it's not going to be easy. The distance between the two teams is quite a lot. They can't overexpose themselves. The players of NFPxSky Sports, they will have to run out in the open, and that is not going to be a good decision. But the circle, again, making a central shift. It is still centered around the Pochinki city. So let's see how the teams actually, or if the teams
But
figure out a way to
uh,
tackle that challenge. But we do have the third airdrop coming in front of us right now with the MK14, and well, Carnage Esports, the trouble for them does not stop. As first it was A1 Esports, but they got lucky. A1 Esports let them be. Then NFPxSky Sports was one taking shots at them, and now it's time for F4 to chime in.
Yep, now for trying to join the party, but still they haven't been able to secure any kill. The dip they are just trying to hold, this can be a good dip for them, because this is close to the area of shelter. But if Nate is thrown into the players onto their side, if any squads come into the same vicinity, it can be a graveyard situation for them. So they have to play very much cautiously, because the first game, it didn't went the way that they just thought for themselves, and this game they have to make it anyhow. But for now, it's also seems that Carnage Esports are just not letting that stronghold of the area to go now. But for now is the moment. It seems that Carnage Esports are just trying to make a rotation from the area. But look at that, all the teams into the same vicinity, but none of the team are taking fight against each other, and the play is still on a standhold situation.
Well, let's see. I mean, it is going to be a king of the hill situation for that team. But hey, Mr. Boro coming right in front of Rahman from the lineup of F4 Esports. And well, Rahman actually turns around and he's like, "I'll be much better with my entire team," which makes sense, right? I mean, you always want to take a fight as the whole squad, so there is no collision right there. And talking about collisions, we haven't had many in this game, although that is just about to change as the players of DRS do spot out the players of Carnage Esports. AJ and Nima taking a few shots. They do hit a few, but AJ actually takes a lot of damage in return, as it was the entire squad of Carnage Esports taking shots at him, and he exposed his back to them. That is something that is never advisable to do inside of the game. But
Yep.
the lad is still alive, so let's see how the rest of the game is going to work out. Although we do have another fight breaking out. By the way, Futurestation versus Deadeyes Guys.
Yep, Deadeye Guys have already taken two players down. That is of Evil Eye and Machine and Kapshi. Where is Batter of the fourth man surviving? And I can see him still into that zone, and he's holding another angle. From this angle, he can be detrimental for the players of the Deadeye Guys. We have to wait for that, but for now, it seems that Deadeye Guys are just trying to put that the first aid in, and they might retreat from this area. But Hungry Box talk about this player. We have seen this player showcasing his brilliant talent in the past. Can he make the most of this situation? We have to still wait for that. But with that, Circle has already made a shift, and just because of that, from the western side, all these teams are just trying to retreat. We have just seen a moment back. The players from 7 Seas, they were just stuck in a situation. Will he be able to surpass the situation? No, a very good spray coming from his side, and Suyog finishes things off as STFU has also been sent to the lobby, and Deadeye Guys looking strong for now, 1 kill into the name, but also on the loss of On Top, sir.
Well, I mean, it was quite a wonderful situation for Deadeyes Guys. As you said, On Top has been taken out, but that was an easy finish that they just secured on that lad. And let's see if they're going to be able to survive the players of DRS that are coming in their direction. Shifu, he stopped for the heal, spots out Gyalzin, goes for a few shots. Seog is there right next to him, but Shifu is going to be taken down. Seog is going to be left in a 1v2 situation. Gyalzin charging towards his direction, but no. Oh, Gyalzin, that can be a mistake right there, because the Shifu actually gets back on his feet, then the players of Deadeyes Guys will have a fighting opportunity. The fight is going to be in a 2v2 again. Seog going for a flank. He sees Gyalzin. He has seen him prone down, but no, he's cooking up a nade. This is a huge mistake. Switches back to the weapon, goes for the shot. Gyalzin is finally going to be shut down. Seog securing the kill. Now he sees AJ as well hiding behind that car right there. Switches back to the grenade. The nade is going to be tossed out. And I believe it is perfect to dish out a lot of damage to AJ. Let's see if they can get a knock. AJ dropping down to 50% HP. Another nade being tossed this time. Oh, that was a Molotov by Shifu. AJ, you're not going to survive. Better take the hit.
Yep, you have to. And AJ with that finish off. Deadeye Guys looking very strong. But in that meanwhile situation, we just saw Nima retreating, and he had to retreat anyhow. But Hungry Box, what is he doing? He's still in that blue zone. He just need to come in zone. And also, if he comes in zone, he has to give his support to the teammate. But 4 kills onto the names of Deadeye Guys. Deadeye Guys are looking very strong, as we just said. But Nima, from that retreat, Mr. Boro is also the 2 men surviving from their team. For how long will they survive? Because this is the second game. In the very first game, we just saw them being eliminated. Can the same thing get repeated? We have to still wait for that. But for now, it seems that Nima and Mr. Boro would try to just extend this match for them anyhow.
I mean, they have to play really passive if they want to make sure that they move to the next stages of the game. Otherwise, stuff like this is going to happen, as Nima is going to be taken down. Mr. Boro going for a revive right here. But there's a team right next to them. There's Carnage Esports in charging distance. I wonder what is stopping them. Oh, it is the threat of high voltage. Just passing by. Mr. Boro going for a few shots on Aussie from the side of high voltage. A lot of damage being dished out, but no knock is going to occur right there. Now, Mr. Boro switching his attention back to the players of Carnage Esports. So somehow still staying alive in this game, DRS Gaming. And as you said, it is going to be really upsetting to the fans if 2 games in a row DRS Gaming take an early exit without any points.
Exactly, but the way High Voltage is trying to rotate, it seems that they are on the receiving end, and we just saw them featuring in the kill feed on the right hand side, and it seems that they are on the receiving end, and one more team is also on the receiving end as Deadeye Guys. So now look at that. Deadeye Guys have made an entry to the zone, but DRS is just trying to backstab them. If Deadeye Guys just faces and let this Brunt go and pass off, will they allow the player of DRS Gaming? This will be a big challenge that will be possessed onto the players of DRS, as Boro and Nima, just the 2 players surviving from their side, and they have to make an entry from the western and northwestern side, and it's a distance of 60 meters. It becomes important if the zone has already made a shrunk.
Well, let's see. I mean, the zone is definitely going to shrink, and TUF, they are so far playing things really slowly. They do not want to take any sort of risk. They are on the edge of the circle. So I believe as soon as the blue zone sort of comes, gets connected to the blue zone, and we have the next blue zone, that is when TUF, their fate is going to be decided. But DRS Gaming right now, sort of trying to not gatekeep, but try and pick off a few players of DRS Gaming so that they can actually move into the circle. But DRS Gaming, that decision can be deadly as Nima and Mr. Boro actually charged into the location of those smokes. And DP, they were waiting for this as Mr. Boro and Nima will both be finished off. 2 games in a row, ladies and gentlemen. DRS Gaming not having a fun time.
Exactly, out of desperation, they had no other thing but to make a slam, and this was the thing that had to happen. If you have taken the fight, you have to execute the fight, or else you will be pulled off and will be thrown out of the lobby. And with that, the team DRS becomes the 13th team to be get eliminated. But with that, some more actions are also erupting on the very northwestern half of the map, as we can see in the mini map. As some teams are just struggling, not able to make an entry. Look at that, the players of R3D up against the players of 1952, because in this match 1952 is back in action. Virus, Shaw, Anubis just trying to flush down the players, but once all these players make an entry, we can see some more congestion on the very western half of the circle. But still, the area of shelter is still under the contestation, and some teams are still trying to make a fight. You just have to make an entry zone. You have to pay the respect of the zone, else the circle will take you down.
Well, the circle will definitely cause a lot of trouble right now. And well, the blue zone is here, so TUF, time to decide where you want to go. And it looks like they have done that already, rotating, but this could backfire as they're moving in the direction of the players of F4. If F4 do not spot them at all, right, the players of F4 are distracted right now with the teams that are surrounding them. Look at the map, there's a lot of shots that are being fired in every single direction and a lot of fights being picked up. But Destroyer from the side of F4 does manage to take down one of the players from the side of PUF. Edgar, one Edgar is hiding behind the buggy. And well, the other one is right next to them, so TUF is still surviving, but F4, they are taking a lot of hits. There are teams charging in their direction. They have I believe it was the squad of Carnage Esports.
Exactly.
One of the players that just slammed in and got finished off. But let's see. This team, they have 2 kills. Rahman was knocked out, but I believe the revive should happen on that individual team. Let's see how they are able to take the rest of the game forward.
So in that same Tashiya, the whole of the team of Carnage Esports were just trying to make a slam in onto that lighthouse, but into that area, into that vicinity, multiple teams were there, and they were just shown the lobby as within a split second, Carnage Esports were taken an exit. But still, the players of Tough acting very tough because they are still 3 men or 4 men strong. We have to still wait for that once all these fights come into the action. But for now, the players of F were just trying to spot down the players in multiple vicinity, into multiple direction. But Futurestation, Evil Eye goes down by the players of Magnet. 952 also come into the action, but Edgar has been pins it down as the players of High Voltage lobbing in some of the nade. But Cooney also goes down by some of the players, but Edgar has been finished up, and that kill has been stolen by the players of F4. So High Voltage, they must be furious about this.
Well, they're definitely going to be furious, and let's see which team is going to take an exit next, as Destroyer from F4 is going to be destroyed by Yasuo from the side of INES. R3D taking the fight against Futurestation, Badrev and Kapshi are going to be taken down. Alright, Futurestation, they are sandwiched between R3D and 1952 as it looks like on the kill feed. Aussie and Cooney from the side of High Voltage, quite close to Edgar from the side of TUF. Edgar and Thor are the 2 surviving players. F4, Destroyer was knocked out. Let's see if the revive happens on that individual as well. But look at the circle. It's at a really interesting positions. All the teams, basically everyone is outside the circle right now except one team right there. As we do see the green-colored spot. Skylight Gaming right there. The green-colored spot inside the circle, that's them. Rest everyone else will have to take the fight first, clear out all this threat that's present to them, and then decide to move in.
How many kills will Skylight Gaming secure from this match? This is a question that is wondering in my mind, because they must not allow all these teams coming from the western or from the eastern or from the southeastern side, because the way they have already positioned themselves, they can just maximize the number of kills. But 7 kills onto the players of 1952. They are still looking very strong. Sharp will be given a revival, and yes, he will be given revival entry. Just you need to pop in the bandage and first aid, and then they will make an entry. 32 meter is a distance that is just not much, and I can see that none of the players from other teams are into that vicinity. So 1952 must be happy with the rotation and with the game that they have actually panned out. But with that, Shaw has already been taken out. That means Skylight Gaming are just not stopping, taking down one by one the players of F4. And it seems that R3D is on the back foot situation. 1952 already made an entry, and with that with that terrain hold, can they make it through to the last circle or to the last player? But R3D, this is looking deadly for them, as Leon, he is just trying to spot down the players, but Shori has been eliminated in all these fights, and Joker just needs to be given the revival. And if he gets the revival, then again Skylight Gaming will remain strong. But will he begin the revival? That's the question.
Well, I don't think that should be allowed, right? There are a lot of teams present quite close to them, so the finishes should be occurring soon, but everyone else is busy amongst themselves, as we do see entry from the side of 1952, taking a charge towards the players of F4, who are still 4-man strong. They are looking really strong in this performance. INES is there on the low ground as well, so it's one team from Nepal, one from Pakistan, and two Bangladeshi teams present in this top 4 finish of this game. Let's see who will get the chicken dinner. Skylight Gaming, they have that Lion King rock position for themselves, but tossing up those nades towards 1952 means they are creating an opening for the players of F4. This is the thing that I believe F4 should be looking forward to, because now they have an opportunity to take a fight against the players of 1952, clear them out, focus on INES or Skylight Gaming, finish them off, and then go for the chicken dinner. But Rahman making sure that the team will have those 4 players, reviving Voltrux right in the nick of time. Let's see how the fights are going to progress. 1952, the smokes have been popped off, but here comes Skylight Gaming.
Yep, here goes Skylight Gaming and takes one down. That means Leon has already taken that fight, but he is just the moment he is just on the back. Alpha and Rahman takes him back. That means F4 also looking very strong in this match, and a nade can do wonders for this team, because the way the players have already positioned themselves, a nade can be detrimental for them, but they also have to clear that back, because INES sensing this right moment, right opportunity, they are just trying to pincer them down, as Glitch has already been pincered them down, but Voltrux goes down in the mean process. But still F4 R3 went strong, but all these fights, among all these fights, Skylight Gaming are still 3 men intact, and the best part for them is that they are holding the circle for now.
Well, they are trying to hold the circle, but quite an unfortunate news for F4, as Rahman has been taken down. Voltrux was taken down already by the players of INES. So F4 not in a really good position. Destroyer heading towards Rahman and Voltrux, who are hiding inside the smoke right now, trying to go for the revive. Goes for Voltrux first, I believe. In the meanwhile, the nade from INES actually ends up taking down all 3 of them. F4 down to just one last player, Khan, and he gets finished off as well, ladies and gentlemen. Down to the top 3 teams. It is INES, SG, and 1952. 1952, the split from the players is the thing that is keeping them alive. Skylight Gaming did put up a lot of pressure on these players, but they are still here. It's a 2 versus 4 situation, and well, Joker and Heaven, they slowed things down. Heaven might be in a comfortable position to take down at least 2 players from the side of 1952. He sees entry, he takes him down, but now he has just exploded himself, and he is going to be exploded with, well, a lot of aggression. Joker in a 1v1 situation against Magnet, and he takes him down. How did he do that?
1 HP!
He takes all of them down. Yes, now he's there with, like, I believe, like 1 or 3 HP on him. But INES, what is going on? The nade from Clutch takes his own teammate down. Joker was given the opportunity to heal up, but he gets double P'd. He gets finished off. That was such a chaotic ending. I mean, as chaotic as game number 1. INES securing the chicken dinner, but I'm pretty sure Yasuo is not going to be happy about the fact that he was blown up by his own teammate.
Exactly, in the turn event was situation, the very last game, some things actually went down for SU, but let's talk about the way Skylight Gaming, Joker out of the 9 kill, 5 kill in its name. That means he just dominated the game the team Skylight Gaming actually wanted. But INES at a time that they were looking not very strong, but they came up with that chicken. But 1952 also coming up with that 9 kill in this match. So some of the teams from the Bangladesh region have emerged strong and performed really very good in this match. And among these 3, obviously Skylight Gaming showcased themselves also. But we'll see also about how other teams performed. But this this game actually panned out in a very different way, because the circle and the area of prison actually is a very tactical play, and
Yeah.
obviously not let you cover all those areas, because you just cannot find yourself in that. So the fight becomes to the area of lower ground to the upper ground. If you are holding the upper ground for a long time, you are to be benefited, and if you are on the lower ground, you just cannot do but to just dodge and not let that bullet collect on your body. And INES successfully did that, and just because of that, they were able to secure a chicken eye onto the name.
Yeah, and I mean they played it out perfectly. It was a literal uphill battle for them, taking on F4 first, then there was 1952, and then the last individual surviving from Skylight Gaming. Amazing 1v3 situation pulled off by Joker right there, but quite unfortunate that he had to do it two times in a row. He did it once, couldn't do it the second time. And as you said, I've been talking about the prison situation. Yes, it does sort of put a lot of pressure on the teams and their ability to team fight. Because on the high ground, you will have an advantage with vision. You will have the advantage in terms of vision and, well, usage of utility as well. But the
Yeah.
trade-off is that you won't have enough cover for yourselves. You will be
Yep.
exposed from either position. While if you are on the low ground, you will have a lot of cover. I mean, there's the compounds there, the tree, the foliage is going to be there to provide you cover. But I mean, everything else is not going to go in your favor. You will have trouble with spotting, taking off fights. You will be exposed once you actually do try and take off those fights. So moving into the circle was a bit of a challenge, but INES is timing things out really perfectly, especially that fight against F4. Had F4 actually taken them out, this would have been their game. But now, standings of the game in front of us, INES walking away with 24 points of this match.
Yep, 24 points straight away onto the names, and Skylight Gaming with that 9 kill, 21 total points. So three teams, the top three teams with all equal kill shares. So that means that kill number has actually been distributed pretty well in this match, and high voltage not far away from that, just 2 placement points, but a high fragging game, a total of 10 points. F4 Esports also taking some good kill points and placement points. So we can see some Pakistani action back into the frame, as they are just into this group. And I can also see some of the teams, for example, Team TUF. On
Yeah.
that, they were on the third half of the chart, and with that 8 total points, this is gonna help them shoot up their numbers, and maybe they can find themselves up in that total position. But Deadeye Guys, 6 kills into their number, so these are some of the teams that actually went all aggressive in this match.
I mean, TUF is one of those teams that I can say they really, really badly needs those chicken dinner performances. As you said, they're on the third half of the standing, the third chart, in fact. So climbing up is not going to be easy for them. But again, we have Magnus Esports in front of us, finishing on the 14th position. DRS and LoG1 Esports not having a fun time. STALWARTxFLEX were the first ones to be taken out, but hey, at least they walked away with 1 kill. So that 1 point being
Yeah.
secured means it's still better than zero, right? Let's see how the next game is
Yeah.
going to go out, because this is not it. STALWARTxFLEX will be there in the next match as well. Hopefully that one will be a little better. Now they've had the sort of opportunity to see what the other lads are bringing with them to
Exactly.
the table. But straight away, moving forward to the overall rankings.
Yup, F4 Esports with that 111 Nelson mark onto their number, and the first team to get that hit that century mark, but Train to Kill still far away. And maybe from here we can see F4 Esports. Maybe they can capitalize on to their lead, but I guess they must be done with all these games. We have to wait
Yeah.
once the Train to Kill the team gets into the action. But Legion 98 total points, StalWARTxFLEX 96 total points. So StalWARTxFLEX haven't been able to actually gather much point. We just saw 1 points, and because of that, they just from 95 to 96 they went on that mark. But Pre and Crew 80 points, God Reborn 80 points. So some of the teams are actually sharing the points after the end of total of 9 matches. But A1 Esports 10 matches, 76 points.
Well, I mean, it's not something that we expect the position of the team to look like, but hey, there is still opportunity. I mean, it's not over yet, right? There's still a lot of matches remaining for these teams. Let's see how they will be. They will try to
Yeah,
move forward in the remainder of the matches, but so far, I mean, quite a tough time the team has been having. Talking about tough times, I mean, look at this. TUF, they have made the jump. They find themselves on the
exactly.
19th position. Another good game, I have to say. I mean, I want to see that chicken dinner performance from them, because they are really far away from the top four for now. But if they consistently keep finishing in the top three, I mean, that is going to give them a massive boost in terms of points and terms of where they actually finish after every single game. But hey,
Yeah.
as you said, STALWARTxFLEX coming back in the next game along with XP Blood Legion and Team Train to Kill. There will be a lot of pressure on the minds of the players of F4 because their matches are done for the day and their fingers will be crossed that no one takes away the lead from them, so that when they come back tomorrow, they
Yeah.
don't have to worry about, oh, how are we going to get the first place again. They can just focus on keeping the lead to themselves and making sure that there is a massive difference between them
Yeah.
and the teams that are following them up.
Yep, this is the thing that obviously Team F4 would love to enjoy,
Yeah.
because everybody loves to enjoy that #1 and #2 position, and we have to wait for that one still match that will be in action after this match, because the third match will be on its way and the same map will be followed as Erangel will be back in action.
Yeah, but before that, we'll be taking very short breaks, so just stay tuned, keep watching. We'll be right back. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims South Asia, brought to you by R3 Gaming. My name is Warren Super Johnny John, joined by Ankit Sharma right next to me. And now, finally, it's time for the last game of today, match number 3, played by teams from Group A and C.
Exactly, and with that, some of the teams that will be joining the frame and joining the action will be, my eyes will be straight away onto the players of Blood Legion because in the Group D we have seen Deadeyes Guys onto there, and with the entry of Group A, that brings the players of Blood Legion, that brings the team of Blood Legion, that brings the competition that we have already
Oh, yeah.
witnessed, and with that, some more teams joined in the frame. For example, T2K and PN Crew, so some more Nepali action we can see once the team Group A comes into the action, but. The last game we just saw a Bangladeshi domination. It was quite impeccable, to be very honest, Johnny.
Yeah, it was really impressive performance from the teams from the Bangladesh region. So we're gonna, as you said, we will hope that is carried forward by XP Blood Legion, another team from the same region, and they sort of end up putting up a wonderful show in this
Yeah.
match as well. Let's see if that is gonna happen, or will they be challenged once again? Because the team that took the chicken dinner away from them will also be present in the same party this time. Also, STALWARTxFLEX, they will try and secure the
So
lead
yeah,
that they have lost since the day started. So that is also another thing that we will be keeping our eyes out on. Let's see what is going to happen. I believe the match is going to be live in another
yeah.
few. Well, all right, here
It's
it
already
is.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is, and from the area of Kamishki down to the area of military base, that means Tolerant Flex will be easily gliding to the areas of Sosnova community, that's for sure. But let's see where other teams and other players go towards, because 1952, they might go towards the area of Ferry Pier, because the alternate drop location for them is Turkey, that is quite away, and that seems unglidable. But some teams have already trying to make an entry. Talk about the team of Tough, they are going to the area of Lipovka just because F4 is not in the lobby, I guess.
Well, let's see. Let's see.
No, they are, they are, they are, they are.
I hope they are here. And let's see how the rest of the players are going to perform. But all right, so R3D going to their standard drop location, that is the Stalba Kameshki hill situation that they find themselves in every single early game scenario. So I hope they will perform really well in this game. But this time, again, STALWARTxFLEX, where are they going? Because the path of the plane path was right on top of the military island, and I do not see them there.
Yeah, we still don't see them there, but it's circle on a central or more towards the area of northern shift taking, because just 10% of the area or close to 5% of the area of total of military base, that is the shoreline area, that is into circle. That means Pochinki will be in the Deadmax center, but R3D Anubis go down to the players of Godex. That means in the very first half of the game, we are already down to the 57 players. That means 3 players are being eliminated. And we were talking about the drop location for Tough. Yes, just because of the players of F4 are not in the lobby, because Group B is out of the action. Good homework done by them, because to the area of Lipovka, we have seen time and again F4 jumping, and this keeps an opening for the players of Tough if they just want to go to that area. But one more fight can we expect to the areas of on the back ends of school, where some more teams are joining. But look at that, they are just not stopping after eliminating one player. They are just going to looking to go up for next skill.
All right, so God's Reborn and R3D Esports in an early fight towards Kamishki. Yashiro with the shotgun in his hand is going to try and move towards the position of Shaw. Sketch is quite close to him. They've switched over to the grenade in the hands of Sketch. Utility is going to be really important in this game, and they double peek him. It was Koha, the first one to go. I'm sure has been finished off. R3D, I thought they were going to have a really good start to this match, but I guess I was wrong. The early fight being brought by the players of God Reborn not working out in R3D's favor. Virus is going to be taken down, and the players of R3D Esports being hunted down by this team will be finished off. They have lost 3 players. I believe just one more player from the side of R3D Esports is still alive. But now the question is, where is he?
Yep, he is still not being spotted in the vicinity. Maybe he is looting into the area of Stalwart, as we have already seen R3D going for that split. But Johnny, to be very honest, to the area of in the area of Kamishki and Stalwart, it has long been able when we have seen the last fight, and yes, Joker just trying to retreat, just trying to save his life anyhow, and still we can see just because of that circle shift, he is 400 meters. So not just only he has to retreat away from his, he has to successfully find himself to make an entry into the safe zone.
Well, definitely. And Joker is a really experienced player. R3G Esports, I've seen this team sort of have that
Ooh.
survival gameplay be in their playbook for a really long time. So I believe Joker should somehow manage to find a way to secure a few placement points at least before the game is over. Let's see if that is going to happen. But Deadeyes Guys, a few shots fired by them towards the players of high voltage. They took a few shots as well, in which Seog did take a lot of damage, but now his boosters are up. He's slowly and steadily healing up back to that.
Yeah.
Possibly will try and go back to 100% HP, but let's see if high voltage decide to chase them down.
For now, high voltage are already brought down to the three players, because just a moment back we just saw Assassin being eliminated, and that kill went into the favor of Deadeye Guys. And yes, Assassin after that elimination, just high voltage survived with the three players, that is of Kuni, Extreme, and Ozzy. In the past, we have seen the contribution of Assassin, so high voltage must not really be very happy losing such an important player, such a key player in the very first half of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be an easy thing for them, but let's see how the remaining three players, the remaining three lads from the side of high voltage, move forward in this match. They have the area of school under control, which is a really good position to be in, considering that like they have a really good spot in the circle as well. They won't have to move, I believe, for the next 10 minutes. So let's see. Aussie
Exactly.
on our screens right now. This is again high voltage, a really experienced lineup. All the players are really well known in their region, and we have seen the recent performance from them as well. They looked really solid. This time, although the first game not really going in their favor, the second one, this one, losing out on one individual early, they have to make sure that they switch their play style right now. They can't go aggressive at this point. They have to wait at least 17 minutes, 15 minutes before they try
Yeah,
and pick those
yeah.
fights again.
So Johnny, here it is. In the whole PMPL, the area of school is contested by the players of high voltage, and in the whole
Yeah.
PMPL, we have seen them dropping. Deadeye Guys, talk about this team. We have seen the same team going towards the area of Rozhok, and this has been a home for them. But in the whole PMPL, apart from one or two skirmishes, we haven't seen high voltage and Deadeye Guys going against each other. But in this very first half of the game, just because the team of Deadeye Guys were holding the back ends of school, high voltage were being punished. So this is a change in strategy that we are seeing from the players of Deadeye Guys.
Well, let's see how Deadeyes Guys will take an approach to this game. Again, just going back home towards the Rozhok city, the players are really comfortable in this position. Plus, they have one kill already secured in this game. So not too much of a worrisome situation for them.
Yeah.
Although
Yep.
on the other side of things, I mean, we have NFPxSky Esports in front of us. They have to travel 1100 meters to head into the circle. So it is still the first blue zone. They should be able
Yeah.
to take the early hits, and they should be able to deal with them. Let's see if that is something that the team will be thinking of, like going for a late rotation. 1100 meters can cause a lot of trouble for the team, especially when they have to deal with freestyle along the way.
Yep. But I can see just one player from PES, and that is Momtu onto the area of Sosnova Community Base, but the rest of the three players onto the area of Milta. So he just might traverse to the area of to the safe zone, because already the team must give him the info that the bridge is cleared and yes, you can just come in. But 7C's Esports still holding to the area of Pochinki. We have seen this team dominating to the area of Pochinki and still dropping off to the area. So where do you think this circle might take a second shift? Maybe towards the area of Pochinki or school?
Maybe. Let's see. I mean, we will find out soon. The blue zone is closing in slowly and steadily, and after that, we will have the circle. If it moves over to Pachinki, I would be happy because, I mean, it will always be interesting to see those urban area fights, right? Plus, Pochinki is a city that is really hard to take over if you're trying to approach it in the late game scenarios. So it is going to definitely be a challenge for the teams, and it's going to be a really difficult position that the teams will be in. So it's going to be interesting for us to watch as commentators, and I'm pretty sure for the viewers as well as to how the fights are going to go ahead. But NFP, as we anticipated, going for a late game approach to the game, still in the city of Primorsk, and now I believe is the time that the team should start moving. Otherwise, by the time they reach in the circle, if someone ends up gatekeeping, then they will be in a lot of trouble.
Exactly, and they are still 12 meters away from the zone and from the blue bar. If that touches towards that right hand side, that means the second circle will be in a shift. That means obviously the distance will increase for them, and that means that after the second zone or maybe third zone, the damage becomes a bit noticeable. So these things are the basics that they have to keep in the mind. But with that, the first airdrop with that MK14 in its way, and we have seen these guns being utilized in a numerous way, because if you use the extended mag into it, it becomes an AR type, because 20 bullets is enough, and we have seen the damage that this gun inflicts. And if you switch to the single mode, if you 8x is equipped with that, we have seen that gun working in that way also.
Well, I mean, definitely. But what do the players inside of the game decide? That is up to them. Let's see what their choice of action is going to be. On the meanwhile, on the map, I did see a few shots being fired by the players of TUF. It looked like they had the players of either DE or PN crew spotted out. So I wonder where that fight is, or in fact, how that fight is going to move forward. On the other side, R3G Esports as well, moving forward from the side of Farm, might encounter the players of T2K in their path. Let's see if they are going to decide to fight it out. All right, so TUF were actually, in fact, taking on the players of High Voltage in the school apartments. Another interesting situation, Edgar and Thor against Cooney Extreme and Aussie.
Yep, Aussie can have a very good flank angle, because if we see that terrain, that one more compound, one more apartment adjoining the same area, if someone gets hold of that, you can have a very good vision from that, and you can surpass and pass the info. But for now, it seems that the only two players from the side of TUF have aggressed, and that means the rest of the players from TUF might be on the back end. But if you are into the fight, you have to be with all the four players. But I was talking about the same thing. Aussie realizing the same fact, he is just trying to put all the infos to the players, but it seems that TUF is just trying to retreat, and maybe the players of High Voltage have heard the vehicular movement, and just because of that, they are just not letting the players go. For now, some shots were already trying to be registered on the players of Tough, but no significant damage being done onto the players of Tough.
Well, and that is the thing that I believe is going to make the players happy, right? If they don't take too much hit, then they don't have to waste time putting up those heals on them, healing up, and then deciding, well, right, where do we want to take this fight? They can just focus on their positioning, which they know it is pretty accurate, since the players of High Voltage can't take them down. And also, since High Voltage is a 3-man roster, this fight against TUF is sort of going to be a bit of a challenge to them. But High Voltage, the players just falling back slowly and steadily, just managing to avoid any sort of collision is going to be really, really important to them. TUF falling back was something that works out in their advantage as well. But on the other side, though, NFP versus INES, and Yasuo is the player to be taken out first.
Exactly, we just saw the players being taken down one again each other into the area of ruins, and maybe it seems that the players are just being traded off as Ash has already been given the revival, and Halsey with that nade, he's just trying to flash out the players, and maybe he can get some kills from that if that nade connects, but that's still a thing to be waited. But with that flank angle, NFP can take on to the players, but from the backhand side we can also see the other players of NFP just trying to create that flank angle. So this is a good strategy, because we have seen going with a split with the 2-2 3-1. This is a strategy that can go into your favor or go against you if you are being backstabbed, or if you have already attracted the attention of too many teams. But for now, they are still feeling safe, because after that second shift they are into the zone. That means they can take this fight stall for a long. But Clutch just cannot find yourself in that open, and how many times we have seen the same flank angle comes from a team, and out in the smoke the player is able to successfully take down the opposite players.
Well, I mean, they should be able to do that. Halsey trying to move forward as Clutch was taken down. As you mentioned, Yasuo will try and go for a revive right there on his teammate. But Halsey, where are you looking? His teammate, one of his teammates, in fact, is quite far away from the players of NFP Esports. So it is going to be a 3 versus 4 situation that the players will have to deal with for now. But the lad has arrived, turning it into a 4v4. Ineos, it looks like the players are pinned down, but the fight can go either way as Clutch is back on his feet. He has healed up. His helmet is a bit damaged, but they should be in a comfortable position in this fight. But talk about fights, Freestyle losing out on Vegeta right there against 1952.
Yep, and the fight is happening in the area of Water City. That means 1952. After that long rotation from the area of Ferry Pier, they have successfully made. So 1952 again and again. In the last match, we saw from the area of Ferry Pier 2 going down to that area of prison where they were eliminated at the second spot. They made a successful rotation again here from the area of Ferry Pier to the area of Water City. They have not only made a successful rotation, but they have also been able to pencil down some of the players that are just trying to flourish into that vicinity.
Well, let's see how this fight is going to turn out. 1952, it looks like they will be surrounded, and if they are too eager to finish off the players of Freestyle, they will get punished. But Freestyle, Mima on the other side, spots out a few individuals from the side of High Voltage. The shots fired do actually return him with the dabs, but the kill is being taken away by players of 7C. Also, they have to worry about the players of R3G as well. Out, Nocto dishing out a lot of damage. Mima barely escaping the knock right there. He survives with like 5 HP on him.
Exactly, but a head has already been popped out as we just saw M24 shot connected from the players of Deadeyes Guys from Shifu sir, and let's see, we have to wait for the visuals from on the which area of the fight, in the which area of the map the fight has actually been erupted. But in this area, it seems that the players of R3G, the two players, have found themselves not in a good position because they are still stuck. But 1952, look at that, they are not finding any bullets. That means that they are just not revealing the location, but they are just trying to collect all the infos as much as they can, because they are holding a very good compound area in this area of Water City. And Sharp X with that M416, we have seen these all players doing wonders in the last game also. They were looking very good. Can they again showcase the performance in the way they did in the last match? We have to still wait for that.
Well, definitely, and let's see how the game is going to move forward. Freestyle Tyrant again. I do expect great things from this individual right here, along with this team. Vegeta, Black, Mima right there. They've managed to survive in the early skirmish against the players of 1952, R3G, and 7C Esports, but now taking control of the Water City for themselves. They will have to force this fight against the players of 1952 because they have to cross the Water City in order to move to the circle. It is not going to be an easy scenario. Just moving around in the city is a difficult job, and well, on the other side, the Peak actually managed to spot out Tyrant, takes him down, but since his teammates are present quite close to him, the revive should be an easy one. Freestyle, they find themselves in a really tricky situation, and well, 1952, they should be able to punish them quite easily. Vegeta, he sees one of the players inside of the window, has a Scarl in his hand. He is going to get double peek from the corner, but not if he peeks first, and that turns out to be a bad decision. Vegeta is going to be dropped down, knocked out, and finished by the players of 1952. The way the players of Freestyle, are approaching this fight, it is not good. They are going for those one individual player pushes.
Exactly.
First it was Vegeta, then it was Mima. Now Black is the man that is aggressing towards these players of 1952, but he should have some cover. The answer is going to be no. Entry takes him down as well. That means Freestyle are left with just one player, Tyrant, the last surviving individual for the team. 1952 just absolutely destroying Freestyle in the Water City.
Exactly, just cannot afford to make a push in the way the players of Freestyle have actually done, and just because of that, Tyrant is the last player surviving, and Freestyle, they must not be happy with the way they have actually panned out this game, and from retreating away, he has just not got any option. And look at that, the helmet is already red. One more bullet onto his head. Not only the helmet will be chopped off, his head will also be blown away. But the way he's just trying to aggress, he's not sure whether any player or any team is there. But it seems that 1952 entry has also been pinned down. That means 1952 has also needs also to find themselves in a good position, because sooner or later more teams will join the action. But some other teams are also joining the fame, as from the southern side some teams are trying to make an entry. 7C is out in the open, just trying to pinch down the players of R3G. Can they do is a question that will be answered. But the players of NFP with that rotation are being punished, are being serially punished. But still, no. The moment I say okay, he has also been taken down.
Well, quite an unfortunate situation for the lads right there, but let's see if they will be able to move forward. Talk about moving forward. Well, Tafiq, he's moving from one target to the next and ends up taking two more as the players of NFPxSky Esports, the last two surviving players for the team, will be finished off and picked off by Tafiq. Now, 1952, they have 5 kills in their name. And they were in a decent position, but now they have to move forward as well. Let's see if that is going to happen. In the meanwhile, though, R3G Esports are quite close to the players of 7Cs. Insane is being revived by Noctu, the last 2 players surviving for the team, and they are exposed as well. So let's see how they will be moving forward. Also, an update, ladies and gentlemen. Freestyle has been finished off. Tyrant just got picked off in the game.
Yep, and Johnny, look at that circle shift right away. An extreme hard shift to the western side that brings 1952 out of the zone. Teams like R3G, INES, Blood Legion, High Voltage, PN Crew, God X, T2K are some of the big names that are out of the zone. But Venom Legends sitting right there in the northeastern half of the circle. But 1952 with that early rotation, can this be again a game for them? But look at that. Out of that 100% zone area, close to 30% is from the water body.
Yeah, and it makes things quite interesting, even more interesting in this matchup. You see, as I mean, now there's like 3 pieces of land present in the circle. One is that central island, the north island, and the main island. And it's going to be a gamble to the teams as to how they want to approach this game. Because look at this. For example, PN Crew, they are on the northern part of the island. They should not be bothered by anyone on this side, because they should be able to pick off the teams on this side of the map. They have the high ground advantage. Although they are outside the circle, the individual should at least be able to secure a few kills as well. It is the teams on the other side that will be giving them the most threat.
Exactly, but look at that small circle. But still, 27 players are still alive. But from now onwards, we are gonna witness these blue streams turning red, as most of the players will be fighting out and battling out, and they will be perishing down, as the players from the opposition side are just not allowing the entry. The moment I say is still into the action. 1 kill still on the team. Spots the players of Deadeyes Guys, but misses some of the shots, and at the right moment, he just thrown down. But 952, they still have to be very much cautious, because of the backhand side, we can just see the players of Venom Legends. So if Venom Legends spots them, they can take them down. But sooner or later, we'll see one more circle shift. But still, the question is, how will all these teams survive against all these odds? Because still, as you just said, the pieces of lands are distributed, because water is still dominating in that zone.
Well, let's see. I mean, they are still dominating somehow, and the players of R3G somehow still managed to survive. I mean, one player is still surviving. Insane is still there. On the other side, though, Killer Whitey is going to be taken out of this match. We are almost closing in towards the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. TUF Edgar is going to be taken down. And again, there are 2 Edgars. It's Thor, Edgar, and Stranger inside of the match. Yeah, one of the Edgars is a Stranger. Let's see, although how the clone duo is going to perform. All right, one Edgar being taken out by Steel Shot from Venom Legends. I believe this is the favor from last game to the players of TUF. But it is not going to be an easy position for TUF, since now they have to move inside the circle as well. They have to cross that river, move over to the northern island side where the players of God's Reborn are.
Exactly, crossing this stream is becoming deadly situation for all the teams. That because of that, 952 Magnet goes down from the players of R3G. That means this is the moment he's just trying to make the most of the situation. Insane is still holding that buggy, and that gives him the luxury, the opportunity to take some shots. And just because of that, a brilliant spotting coming from this side. If he takes his team to go to some good positioning points, it will be a good for him. But still, he is still having the 5 first hit. That means he can still afford to survive in that water area. But look at that, with that most of the team trying to make an entry. Godex still surviving with all 3 men strong.
Well, let's see. I mean, it is not going to be an easy finish. Insane. Look at him. 2 first hits, hiding inside the car, just healing up. hoping that a few more teams will get eliminated by the time he has to pop his head out of the water, so to speak. But I mean, the teams are fighting. Three teams. All right, Edgar is being taken down. So insane strategy does work out in the favor. Finds himself in the top six. 1952 entry getting finished off. Sharp and Tafiq still surviving. Jane, we do see him inside the water as well. This game is turning out perfectly for the squad of God's Reborn. They have 6 kills. They have 3 players. They are on one edge of the circle in a really comfortable position. And the only team that can challenge them is going to be Venom Legends. So it will all come down to which team does the circle favor in the next shift. And if it moves towards a little bit to the south, to the island, the center island right there, then I believe things will get really, really interesting. All right, so 1952 completely eliminated from the game. The final 4, ladies and gentlemen, are in front of us right now.
Exactly, Final Four onto your TV screen. But with that, look at that Venom Legend, all 4 men strong. Can this be a game for them? We have to wait for that. In the last game, we just saw Bangladesh Chicken Dinner. Can this be still executed? We still have to wait for that. Frypan taking the shots onto the player of God's Reborn, but no, he has been retaliated as head has been chopped off. But still, they are 3 men strong. 1 player will go for the revival. The big question is, will they be able to take down the players of God? But in the meanwhile, the players from other teams are also trying to secure some good positioning points. And look at that, Jane is still surviving in that area, and the final player from Tough has been eliminated, and this brings us to the final 3 team. Venom Legends up against the players of God's Reborn, and the final player from T2K, that is Jane. I remember the last game also, Jane was the last player surviving, where in the first game of Erangel. So Jane is doing some good positioning points for this team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to get those points one way or the other. And talk about getting points. God's Reborn taking on the players of Venom Legends. 2 players, Nightwing and Steel Shot, have been taken down. 3 players still surviving. Yashiro was knocked out from the side of God's Reborn, but the revive should come in. And as you mentioned about Jane, surviving is key. He has managed to secure those 10 placement points for his team. And if he can pick off a few more kills, then that is definitely going to be the cherry on top of the cake for the lineup of T2K. But let's see if that is going to happen. Venom Legends and God's Reborn, mind you, are really, really busy fighting amongst themselves. They do not even care about that individual in the vehicle right there. They can't see him. They're not worried about him. Right now, the assumption of the players of Venom Legends is going to be it's a 4v4 final fight. They will assume God's Reborn is going to be a 4-man squad.
Exactly, but with that, Nightwing takes down the players of God's Reborn, as Sketch has already been knocked off. That brings down to Ashirao and Samad, but Venom Legends has no idea. They, as we just said, they must be knowing that this is a 4v4 fight, but still, Jane is still surviving to that area, and kudos to the guy. To this far, he has brought down. That means he has done some good job for him, but no, Steel Shot in a trade knock has been knocked down, but the Sketch has been finally eliminated. That means Venom Legends are still 4 men strong, and they are just trying to flush down the players of God's Reborn. They are still surviving with 2 players, and with that, oh my goodness, Jane is still surviving.
Well, Jane is still there. How many first aids does he have? I mean, that's what I want to know. All right, I believe he has managed to bring himself close to the land, and he might just be looking to cause some trouble for the players of God's Reborn, but Mad is going to get spotted out by Rafat. Rafat being dropped down to around 20% HP. Nightwing is going to be taken down by Jane. Oh, he causes some trouble for the players of Venom Legends. Instead, I believe the kill has been secured by Jane, but Frypan's nade is finally going to finish him off, and Mad, he is in the blue zone right now. He is going to be taken out by the blue zone. Venom Legends, the finish is theirs. The chicken dinners is theirs. Not the way that they thought it was going to happen, but
exactly.
Hey, at the end, 15 points are theirs. And well, so are the kills. They missed out on one good kill denial right there by Yashiro, I believe, from the squad of God's Reborn, denying 1 extra points. But a wonderful performance overall. Also, really impressed with how TUF actually played this game. Look at that. I mean, there are 2 Edgars in the team, and one of them secured 5 kills for the team.
Yeah, one of the teammates securing 5 kills, and all the 5 kills from the team has gone to its name. That means the Edgar, the second Edgar, that third name in the squad, has actually performed very good. But some teams also performed really decently in this match were PN Crew, and I need to say that they took some decent kills in the match. 5 kills is a decent amount, but I guess Blood Legion just joined with the 3-man roster in this match, and because of that, they might have faced the brunt of this. And Venom Legends again. Bangladeshi chicken dinner into the frame, and with that, one more chicken dinner going to this. So a good gameplay coming from this region altogether to this day.
Exactly. I mean, we were hoping XB Blood Legions would be the one to outshine once again. But yeah, Venom Legends, as you mentioned, a good performance from the team, a really wonderful chicken dinner, and maybe tomorrow they will just build on this momentum and bring themselves into a really wonderful position in the overall standings as well, because that is something that I believe that now the team will be looking forward to. Although I will be quite curious as to where the other teams have finished. In particular, I'm really focused on that team TUF right there, because as we did see, starting off the day sitting at the second last position in the overall standings. After the last game, they bring themselves well sort of in a better position, but I believe
Exactly.
this game will bring them to the second chart of the standing, and tomorrow when they come
Yeah.
back they will have two matches again, so they will uh, their best case scenario is tomorrow they break into the top 8.
Yeah, this is a very good strategy. One day you just take one thing at a moment. The best part for
Yeah.
them at the end of this day could have been once we get the overall ranking, we'll get to see where the team tough is actually standing, and if they manages to get anyhow into the top second half of the chart, they might go for the first half. We'll talk about this, but let's head toward the match ranking for Game 15. Venom Legends with that 4-kill chicken dinner into the name and a total of 19 points, but trained to kill again, making a mark again, a thumping, and just making their presence feel 8 kills, total of 10 points. And in the very first game we also saw Train to Kill performing good. So all in all, Train to Kill had a very good decent
Yeah.
outing today.
Yeah, they had a wonderful performance, but talk about teams that did not have a wonderful performance. STALWARTxFLEX Freestyle and R3D Esports, not a good game for these lads. I believe STALWARTxFLEX were not present in this matchup, and Freestyle and R3D Esports being forced to take an exit early on. R3D Esports, just as the game started, being picked off by God's Reborn, and then Freestyle being picked off in the Water City as well. On the other side, the P and Crew 7C Esports getting picked off in the middle of their rotation. XB Blood Legion and NFPxSky Esports sort of meeting the same fate in this
Yeah.
matchup. Although the teams will have an opportunity tomorrow as well when they return to the scrims, but at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, these are the overall standings. F4 Esports sitting on the second position, not too far away from the leaders, Train to Kill, just a 5-point difference between them. And then STALWARTxFLEX, I mean, they started off with the first position in their hands. Now they find themselves on the sixth.
Exactly, but the lead is still not very much, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
20 point is a lead that can be evenly trespassed if you get a one decent game into your favor. But with that, let's do the second half of the chart, where at the ninth position, 952 is still there with 88 total points. They must be eyeing to find themselves in the first half of the chart in the tomorrow games,
Yeah.
because all the two opportunity for today has been exhausted, and the Deadeyes Guys following the next 82 total points, R3D 82 points, PN Crew. So some of the teams are also joining, but TUF also okay. So they have made that half century mark, but still not better enough to get on the second half of the chart.
Yeah, still not good enough. I mean, that's the thing, right? I thought they had a decent finish. They would at least hit the double-digit marker in this matchup, but that wasn't true. They need to get those 10 points per game in order to move forward. See, the moment they get 20 points, if they get 20 points tomorrow, they're going to be sitting at 70 points. That is the second chart of the standings. 100 plus points if they can somehow manage to do that, which is like really, really hard, because 25 points per match is not an easy job.
Yeah.
Then they will find themselves in the first half, but for now, I think the target for TUF should be 10 to 12 points per game. Let's see if they can accomplish that. But hey, kill leaders for today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jane from T2K, 5 kills. Hungry Box is there from Deadeyes Guys with 5. We have Edgar from TUF with 5 kills. And then we have Sad Matt from God's Reborn with 3 kills to his name. Wonderful performance from these team TUF as well. Edgar in that last game actually did get those 5 kills, by the way.
Yeah, Bedgar in the last match get all the 5 kills that the team secured, and he was the sole man from his team, actually trying to carry his team forward. Eventually, the team did pretty well, but not well enough to find themselves in the second half of the chart, and they are still on the third half of the chart. But obviously, they hit that half century mark, and they must be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, they should be happy about that happening right there. But let's see. I mean, tomorrow, what is going to happen? Only time will tell. I'm pretty sure the fans will be expecting a comeback from STALWARTxFLEX, them taking the throne that was theirs. again tomorrow. We will be hoping for that to happen. Then there's going to be the performance of Team TUF, because really interesting performance by this team. Consistency is there, but it's not good enough. They are finishing middle of the table. Last game was 7 to 8 points. This game was 7 points as well. Just a little bit more, just a
Yeah.
little bit more from TUF, and they will have a
Yeah.
pretty decent performance. So we'll be hoping for that as well. If we move over to the side of Bangladesh, today was their day. Two chicken
Exactly.
dinners were dominated by the teams from Bangladesh. Nepal almost failing to clutch those moments. But hey, tomorrow is going to be a new day. Our matches for today are over, so we'll be back tomorrow again at the same time, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys tune in. Until then, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.
Peace.
Let's get it.